Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I am your host, Clay Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks Take All in One Take. It is Monday night, November the 4th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Believe me, a rare 11 p.m. start, because usually I'm rushing in here at 11:15. By the way, here's a bad dad joke to start off the night. If you're rushing to get into the washroom and you're rushing to get out of the washroom, what are you when you're actually in the washroom? European. Anyways, I'm usually rushing to get into the stream after Canucks After Dark, but poor Parker had a power outage out in Surrey, so he could not do the show tonight. He told he was holding out hope all the way. Okay, you guys are already voting. You guys are already rating that joke out of 10. I love it. I love it. You guys know me so well. You guys know what we do here. Anyway, so Parker was, I think his power went out at around dinner time. He was holding out hope that it was going to come back before 10 p.m., but it was all for naught. So sorry for the short notice. I know a couple of you actually texted me, messaged me saying, hey, what's up with Canucks After Dark? And I said, we're not doing it tonight. We're going to do it on Wednesday. So we will do it on Wednesday. We were going to do it tomorrow, because good time to do it tomorrow because the Canucks game night. But I think Parker and I, admittedly, I think he's really interested in the election results and maybe the fallout, the commentary. So even though we are passing up a chance to do a post-game Canucks After Dark tomorrow, we will do it on Wednesday, which makes sense. Maybe that between the two games of Tuesday and Thursday, we will do our show nicely in the middle on Wednesday. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So I don't know what it's like. I hope you guys are all safe in terms of power and rain. And I know in our complex, one of the fences blew down. Thankfully, not our fence. And then in our neighborhood, someone's trampoline actually, I guess it's a very light trampoline, or wasn't bolted down too well. Someone's trampoline actually flew out into the street, which was pretty crazy. I didn't see that happen. I just saw a picture of that from our neighborhood. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support as always, and to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, as windy as it is in the city, lower mainland, province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching anyone else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, all three. But the fact that you're here with me, know how much I always appreciate you, and I never, ever take you for granted. So as always, this is how you get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel, get notified of my videos, get active in the chat section. You can like the video. There are 45 of you watching on YouTube. Thank you. Another 20 watching on X. Thank you. But if you're on YouTube, make sure you like the video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that Canucks are back in the win column, like the fact that Dakota Joshua could play as soon as tomorrow, but my guess is Thursday. More on that in a moment. And like the fact that Thatcher Demko rumored to be back in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Those are two huge things to like, and just like the fact that we are overall an awesome community. You can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. It will resist the wind and the rain, and it will still chug along the tracks. So you can leave a donation. You can gift a membership. You can buy your own membership. You can upgrade your own membership. And if you're listening, you can use your monthly membership message, your Triple M. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review and vote my poll. Originally, I said, what's been the biggest surprise? And I had four options: Garland, Lankinen, Sherwood, and Suter. And then the first 6 people all voted for Lankinen. And I said, okay, this probably isn't the best poll question if it's 100% already. So then I took Lankinen out. So I said, who's the biggest surprise that's not Kevin Lankinen? And I gave you four. I'll give you 4 options in Brandstrom, Garland, Sherwood, and Suter. So let's see how that goes throughout the night. So tonight, I think I'll go just only about 10 or 15 minutes Canucks and NHL talk. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to you for Canucks questions, Canucks and hockey questions. And then the last little bit will be Ask Me Anything. So I'm just going to prepare 2 quick banners right now. let me just do this. Canucks and hockey questions only. So that will be the first bit of the second half. Questions only. And then the second part will be non-Canucks and non-hockey questions only. And we're gonna try it. We're just gonna try and break it up tonight and see what happens, just so there's a bit of an order to what we're doing, a method to our madness. So let's see how that goes, but that'll be for the second half of the show. Let's get going. A no Canucks game to wrap up, to recap. In fact, the last time they played was Saturday. It's weird. And you'll see this in the standings. I keep harping on this, but it's weird that the Canucks have only played 10 games and other teams have played 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm not sure if any games have done 15. Any teams have played 15 games, but we shall see in a couple of minutes. But I want to talk about practice, and I want to talk about a couple of the reports that we are hearing. So let me share the lines from today's practice in Anaheim. So, my friends, what we had, before I get going, I want to recognize the first donation of the night, and it comes from Skytrain Alfred. Skytrain Alfred donates $7 and says, "Do you think we're pretending to be Windy City?" Because we're acting like it. I know. I don't want to be the Windy City. I like to be Van City. But yes, a little bit scary out there. And I'm sure in Richmond, we do not get the worst of it. I'm sure there are a lot of places that have it a lot worse than me. Thank you. You can tell, I always have my, I use my DMs a lot because they were showing on the side. Thank you for Daz Money for that. I'm just seeing who is in there just in case. Yeah, Lucas is in there, SGA and Jay. Okay, and Doodle Hockey. So at least it's 4 people that are on the stream a lot. So there's nothing crazy in there. Lucas was, I sent him the link for last night. Doodle Hockey, we chat. And then SGA, we're trying to figure out that Sharks Canucks live stream post-game show. But thank you. Thank you for taking care of me, Daz Money. And also, thank you very much to Skytrain Alfred. Let's give Skytrain Alfred some love in the chat for getting the donation train out of the station. I guess it's fitting that Alfred is often the one to get the donation train out of the station, given how much he loves trains, and in particular SkyTrain. So thank you very much, Alfred. Appreciate you. And hey, Windy City Hockey is here. Perfect. We summon his name. And then hello, Bern from Germany, and hello to everyone that is here. Okay, now let's look at this without seeing my DMs. So this is the Canucks practice lines from Anaheim. DeBrusk, Miller, Besser, Suter with Pedersen and Garland, not Baines, Heinen, Bluger, Sherwood, Hoglander, Baines, Sprong, Joshua rotating as an extra. Remember, Oman is not here anymore. And then the D pairings were Hughes, Hronik, Susie Myers, Brandstrom, Desharnais, Forbert, Juleson. So there's so much to get into here. So I'm going to talk about the defense. Then I'm going to talk about the forwards and Dakota Joshua. And then I'm going to talk about Thatcher Demko as soon as I recognize Coach Rob's. By the way, were you Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor? Was it Sabrina Carpenter? And how was it? But let's give some love to Coach Rob for gifting this membership. So thank you, Coach Rob, for gifting the franchise membership for a month. It goes to Calvin 703 Charlie. So welcome, Calvin 703 Charlie, to the Clay's Canucks Commentary Crew franchise membership for a month. Almost fitting that when Rob gives a membership, it goes to someone who has Charlie in the name. Of course, Charlie being the name of Shannon's awesome cat. So speaking of awesome, thank you, Coach Rob, for your awesome donation and membership gift. What's Sabrina Carpenter? Nice. Oh, your sister won tickets. See, okay, so you guys win some stuff. You never win a membership, but at least you won tickets to Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know anything about her, but I'm sure there's a lot of women not wearing a lot of clothes at the concert. I'm not saying you, Taylor. I'm saying others, of course. Okay, let's talk about the defensemen. Hughes, Hronik, Susie Myers, our top 4 since the start of the season. Last game, they tried Forbert and Brandstrom. Forbert on the left, Brandstrom on the right. Not so great. Not so great. So they got away from that. They went back to Brandstrom, Desharnais, and Forbort Juleson. The way that Harman lists them, it looks like Branstrom Desharnais looks like the third pairing, and Forbort Juleson looks like the fourth pairing. That would make sense to me. And then, unfortunately, Derek Forbort got hurt in the practice. Harm just said that he left the practice favoring his leg. No update yet from Derek Forbort. So hopefully it's very, very short term, maybe just a stinger or maybe just a muscle soreness, and hopefully he's back. But given these lines, these pairings, it didn't look like Forbort was in the plans to play tomorrow night. It looks like they're going back to Branstrom and Desharnais, which is fine with me. They actually play quite well together. So that's all we have to say about the defensemen. Now let's look at the forwards. And what's really interesting is Suter and Baines swap places. Suter, second line now, Baines, fourth line. So, and then Joshua rotating as an extra. So when I first saw this, you guys, I tweeted out, I said, to me, this looks like Suter is a placeholder for Joshua. And you go Joshua, Pettersson, Garland. And then Baines is a placeholder for Suter. You bring Suter back down between Sprong and Hoglander. And then Baines would be your extra. And I was pretty confident in that. And I said, yeah, because, Joshua, put him with Petey and Garland right away. Maybe gets Petey going, spark some chemistry with Garland. And then Suter's been playing a fourth line center. And there's no way that I have Baines playing. I can see Baines playing as a fourth line center. He works hard. He's a reliable player, but he's not a center. Okay. So I was acting all smart. I thought that was the way it was going to go. People were agreeing with me on X. And then Rick Tocchet spoke, and he said Suter's playing so well, he wants to get him more minutes. So you're obviously getting more minutes. Thank you, G-Van. I'll get to your donation in a second. You obviously get more minutes playing top six as opposed to fourth line center. So when Tocchet said he likes the way Suter's playing, 2 goals last game, and he wants to get him more minutes. Okay, so then maybe this is the actual line. Then the Canucks posted Connor Garland talking about Suter as a line mate. So they wouldn't do that if he wasn't being a line mate. But then, okay, that's fine. So then that told me that Joshua is not going to play tomorrow night, just a hunch. Otherwise, I think we'd see him in the actual lines as opposed to rotating in as an extra. So then that leaves me to wonder about this. Well, then who's going to play our 4C? Neil Zaman just got sent down last week and cleared waivers. So he's in Abbotsford. And then Rick Tocchet even said he'll talk to Patrick Alvin about who they're going to call up. So most people think it's going to be Atu Ratu as opposed to Neil Zaman. Remember, they're not going for the best scorer right now. That would be Jonathan Lekaramaki, who started off so well. But don't be surprised if Atu Ratu gets called up tomorrow to play. So we could see lines like this: DeBrus, Miller, Besser, Suter, Pettersson, Garland, Heinen, Bluger, Sherwood, Hoglander, Ratu, and Sprong. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know what you guys think of a lineup that basically is this, except for Atu Ratu in for Arshdeep Baines. Let's give some love to Jeevan for the $3 donation. Thank you, Jeevan. Says, what's the most surprising team so far? I'd say in a good way, in the West, Winnipeg. In a bad way, Nashville. And in the Eastern Conference, in a good way, I'm surprised with Washington and Carolina's. How strong Carolina's good, but surprised with Washington. And a bad way, maybe Boston. So there's 4 or 5 teams that have been surprising to me. Let's give some love to Jeevan in the chat. Thank you very much for the donation. Okay, so one more thought about this then. If Joshua is not ready tomorrow, but he does come in on Thursday against LA, which is great. Eventually, when he comes in, where does he fit? And I actually think you could make an argument for all 4 lines. Merit notwithstanding, like I don't know if you put him on the top line when he hasn't even played a game yet. So I'm not sure, but I could see him with Miller and Besser, right? And then you can put DeBrus down back with Petey and Garland, keep Heinen, Bluger, Sherwood, and then put Suter back between Hoglander and Sprong. So that would be the case for Dakota Joshua on the first line. I could easily see him on the second line. You replace, have him take Suter's spot, and he plays with Garland again, and then with Petey in the middle, and then you put Suter on the fourth line. I guess that he'd be on the third line with Bluger and Sherwood. I think that would be a nasty line to play against. and then you drop Heinen. You could put Heinen up to the second line, or Hoglander up to the second line, and then Suter in the middle. Or you could play him on the fourth line with Suter as your center. Then you got to move up someone to the second line, and then one of Sprong or Baines sits. So there's all those types of permutations and combinations. So like I said, I could see Dakota Joshua start on any of the four lines. So I'm going to be really interested to see their practice lines on Wednesday, right? Because they got their game tomorrow. They'll probably have a morning skate, optional, I bet. And then we won't know the actual lines until half an hour before the game. So look for Joshua to come to the lineup on Thursday. Just a hunch. I would love to see him tomorrow, but just a hunch, the fact that he wasn't a regular on one of the lines, just a hunch that he doesn't start tomorrow. Okay. The other thing then is Thatcher Demko. So Darren Dreger appeared on Sakaris and Price, and Darren Dreger said that Thatcher Demko, good news, he's had some really good days of practice, and he looks like he'll be joining almost regular practice this week sometime. So once he joins practice, then you think he's probably a week to 2 weeks away. So that's why in my video description, I said Demko's probably 2 to 3 weeks away total. So I could see him playing at the tail end of the homestand that's going to come up, or maybe when the Canucks go back on the road after that homestand ends after November 19th, because then that'll be the third week of November. But apparently there's been no setbacks. It's been all positive news. We are all, really anxious to see how healthy, if Demko can return to form. Hopefully he can. Obviously, it makes our team so much better. Yet we are grateful that Kevin Lankinen has played so well. It's not like we forgot about Demko, but the urgency isn't as there's not as much urgency as perhaps there would have been if Lankinen wasn't playing so well. So a couple of things to think about there. But it sounds like it's all good news. Now, lastly, we just go over the scores and the standings, and then I'll do a Mitchell read, and then I'll get to all of your questions. So when you look at tonight's action, not a lot of action, 2 games, both involving Pacific Division opponents, both involving 3-0 scores. So the Kings shut out the Predators 3-0 in Nashville, but then the Devils shut out, the Devils just love shutting out Pacific Division teams. They shut out the Oilers 3-0 in Edmonton. So both away teams win, both by identical 3-0 scores. So then you go to the standings. Who cares about the East? Then you look at the West. Now, here's what I was saying about, I'll show you the 10 games in a second. So Vegas has 17 points in 12. LA has 17 in 13. Vancouver has only 13 and 10. Calgary still has 13. Edmonton has 13, but they played more games. And then Seattle, Anaheim, San Jose. By points percentage, technically, we're actually behind both Vegas and LA. But if we win our 3 games in hand and 2 games in hand, then we'll technically be in first place outright. You look at the league, in terms of points, we're still tied for 13th. In terms of points percentage, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're 9th. So doing well. And as I pointed out yesterday, look, 10, 11, 12, 13. The top 13 teams all have positive goal differential. We are the only team with a negative goal differential. And that's what happens when you lose games 6-0. Okay. That's all I need to talk about the Canucks, about the standings, about line combinations, deep pairings. I want to turn it over to all of you in a second. But hey, Simon, no, thank you for your question. No, I don't. You can look at the East Division, the East standings yourself. It doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect our playoff standing. So I think it's enough that I look at the scores. I do not. I'm kind of sarcastic. Of course, I care what happens in the East, but for purposes of the stream, I don't care what happens in the East. It doesn't affect the Canucks, and people can look at that on their own. Good question, though. Good question, though. So let me do my Mitchell sponsor read, and then we're going to break up the second half of the show into two parts. One of them is going to be Canucks and hockey-related questions, and the second part is going to be non-Canucks, non-hockey-related questions. I've seen Kate Patterson was doing some stuff near the start of the season for NHL.com or the league itself, but I don't know what her new full-time gig is. BC Beastly. All right, let's start with our mid-show sponsor read. And of course, we give thanks to our primary show sponsor, Jason Lim and Van City Experts Real Estate. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the Greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Also, thank you to Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay, as you see at the bottom of the screen. You can get a free 5-day workout when you sign up. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, making that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Remember, you can buy Canuck Clay merch at canuckclay.threadless.com. Thanks to those of you who have bought already. And a mid-show reminder to all of you to subscribe, to like the video, to leave a donation like Alfred and Jeevan have done. You can gift a membership like Coach Rob has done. You can buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message, your Triple M. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, you can rate and review. And finally, don't forget shows this week. A change to the schedule because we didn't do Canucks After Dark tonight. We will do it on Wednesday. So my shows this week will be CCC tomorrow night, which will be a bowling recap, 10 seconds of election talk, and then a game recap. And then Wednesday will be Canucks After Dark at 10, then my show at 11:15. Basically what I usually do on Mondays, we'll switch it to Wednesdays. And then Thursday, a show which will be a post-game wrap-up of Canucks versus Kings. So it should be a great week of shows this week, all open to everyone, no member streams this week. Okay, let's do this. I will do 15 minutes of Canucks and hockey-related questions only. And then, as you see there, hold on, I'm going to put it on the bottom, actually. And then what I'll do is for the last 5 to 10 minutes, we'll try some Ask Me Anything, some non-hockey and non-Canucks related. But for now, let's do Canucks and hockey questions only. We'll do this for a good 15 minutes, starting now. Daniel, great question. You might not have been here on, there are a couple of shows where I talked about this. I found there are more people that want to talk about the Canucks than want to play the games. The games were a nice break, especially because I didn't want to repeat myself from Canucks After Dark, but I find that Parker and I have a certain style. I have a certain style on my own shows. So I found that it's more appealing and the numbers were better when we had Canucks talk as opposed to playing the games. Great question, Daniel. What hotel does a visiting team stay in when they're in Vancouver? I've seen them at the Weston Bay Shore near Stanley Park. I think they've stayed at the Pan Pacific as well, but I'm not sure. I'm not big on that kind of thing. And not that people stalk them, but a lot of people know more about that kind of thing. So if anyone knows where where the opposing teams stay, put it in the chat for sure. Victor, my work laptop network, I'm in auto locks YouTube to restricted mode, so I cannot watch Canuck Clay live stream. So I cannot check and extend my membership. Oh no. Well, right now it says that you're a member still, Victor. So what, do you have to do it off your phone then, or use a different computer? I appreciate the effort. I really do. But don't get too mad. It's just me. We'll be okay. But I do appreciate your effort for sure. What line do you think Dakota Joshua plays in? So Edmund, did you just get here? I'm not being sarcastic because I just talked about this for like 5 minutes. Although I didn't say, admittedly, I went through the options. I didn't say what line I think he'll be in. Yeah, depending on how well they play tomorrow, if Joshua comes in on Thursday, I could see him slotting in on the third line with Sherwood and Bluger. If you keep Suter up top, then you go Ratu, Sprong, and either Hoglander or Heinen. But then if you keep Ratu, I don't know. if I put Joshua, when Joshua comes back, I could see Suter dropping down to the fourth line again, because if not, then you're actually sitting one of Sprong, Hoglander, or Heinen when you don't have to. So we'll see, right? If you keep Ratu in the lineup, then you're bringing in basically two players, Ratu and Joshua, for all intents and purposes. So that means you got to drop at least one of, like I said, Sprong, Heinen, or Hoglander, or Suter. So we'll see. I think we'll have a better indication after tomorrow's game, especially if Suter plays well with Petey and Garland, then yeah, you got to keep that. Then you put Joshua on the third or fourth line. But if Suter doesn't do well, I could see them trying Joshua with Petey and Garland for sure. Does Suter deserve to return next season? Is he the Naslin of this era, the player who has stepped up in a stacked team that isn't doing so well? Interesting thought, Fillmore. I know you did it for discussion purposes. I don't really compare Suter to anyone, Naslin or anyone. I just know him as a Swiss Army knife, a jack of all trades. You can play him from the first to the fourth line, maybe not the first line all the time. Can be on the power play in the bumper spot, good release, as we saw. Can be on the penalty kill. So I think he's well worth the 2-year, $1.6 million contract we signed him to. I would love for him to return, but if he has a big year, just like many free agents that we kind of signed for 2 or 3 years, it might be hard to re-sign him, but we'll see. I like him. I like him a lot. Well, yes, it's still Tyler's birthday, because it was Tyler's birthday at 12 last night, and it's still Tyler's birthday. So happy birthday, Tyler. Was resting the vets in preseason a bad idea given the amount of new guys on this team? Irvin, that is a great question. I've talked about this a couple of times. Yes, the Canucks have now with Brandstrom 8 new faces on this team, but but many teams in the league have the same amount of new faces. So then we can't use chemistry as an excuse. So then that leads right to your question is, well, then why didn't they play together more? I think that is something we're going to debate for a while. Hopefully it doesn't, rear its ugly head and be a reason why, because the Canucks are still on a 107-point pace. So they're only one game off of last year's pace. And we know they're playing like gangbusters last year. The shooting percentage was out of this world. So I do not think it was a bad idea. Like I don't think that Petey would have 8 points instead of 4 if he played 1 or 2 more preseason games. I just don't think so. So I don't put a lot of stock into that theory. Great question though. What you did Sedin say to Petey on the ice last Saturday? Huh? What do you think Sedin said to the Petey on the ice? I didn't even know that the Sedins talked to Petey. So Adam, ask it again. I actually don't know what you're getting at, but I want to be able to answer it. No problem, Daniel. If both the starting and backup goalie get injured in the same game, how do teams call it their next going line? I think, isn't that where the e-bug comes in? There's a third person in the building that's why David Ayres suited up for Toronto against Toronto that time. I think there's a guy in the arena that can serve as your emergency goalie, your emergency backup goalie, your third goalie. I think that's what it is. No problem, Cal. It's on Wednesday. It's on Wednesday this week. Thank you for asking. I saw the 2011 Blackhawks stay downtown Pan Pacific. That makes sense. You think DeBrusk can get going now that he had that monkey off his back? I sure hope so, Daniel. They say that he's a very streaky player, that goals come in bunches. So with the first one being scored on Saturday, I think we're ready for a bunch of goals. I am back on my phone YouTube app to watch and chat. Well, glad you're here, Victor. Thanks for making the effort. I need to fix my personal laptop. Need to extend that membership. Hey, Victor, I'd love to have you extended for sure. Western Bay Shore, yep. Or if they want to feel like ballers, they go to Fairmont. All right, so the Western Bay Shore or Fairmont. Clay, do you sleep enough? Dan, do I look tired? Or are you asking? Well, I think you're asking out of concern anyways, but tell me if it's because I look tired. Yes and no. Average hours per night? No, definitely not. Because sometimes I go to bed at 2:30 and get up at 7:30. But I will tell you, ever since I haven't been studying and since we've gotten back into the school and church and the Canucks season, like yesterday, I had a nice 3-hour nap. I haven't had a 3-hour nap in 5 years, I think. So, and then tonight when we didn't have Canucks After Dark, I actually took a half an hour nap. So I can sneak in these power naps and I feel good, but I don't get enough sleep, but I'm kind of used to it, if that makes sense. Are we wearing black skates next Tuesday? Someone refresh me if next Tuesday is a black skate night. Clay doesn't need sleep. The sleep needs. This is my new slogan. Thank you, Jasper. Clay does not need sleep. The sleep needs him. I love it. I love it. I believe Shilovs will go down to Abbotsford because he does not have to clear waivers once Demko is back and healthy. But once they know that Demko is healthy, but we've seen with even Brandstrom and not Brandstrom, sorry, with Baines, and they're able to move guys up and down without worrying about losing them. Not to say the next two games are important, but how big is Saturday night versus Edmonton at home? National audience, heated fan base, game 8. Yeah, I don't know about that. Hated fan base. Obviously, and you know this too, Ricky. Every game's worth the same in the standings, but yeah, there's always a little bit of extra oomph when it's the Edmonton Oilers and when it's Saturday night. Hey Clay, so when Vancouver goes, is there a Pacific hotel we go at? No, when we're away, I think it changes, Simon, no matter what city they're in. Tyler, brother, happy birthday. So I'm not going to be mean to you. I just talked about this for the past 15 minutes. I asked you to go back and watch it later, please. I excuse you for being late tonight because it's your birthday, but I'm not going to relitigate what I've already talked about for the first half of the show. Short version is he rotated in the line rushes today. My guess is Thursday, not tomorrow. How many main practices does Demko need before game action? I think a good week to 2 weeks of practices, fangirl, because they don't practice every single day. Maybe that amounts to 4 or 5 practices. Yeah, Edmonton. Yeah, on some nights they do fine without McDavid. Draisaitl and Hyman have been stepped up tonight. Other nights like tonight, they get shut out. So I think it's very, very inconsistent. We should be able to beat them if both teams are playing at their best. If McDavid's not playing, we should be able to beat them, but who knows? Who knows? Durant spoke very highly of Suter as a point producer and puck battler. Awesome. Makes sense. Who decided on the Elias Pettersson contract? Obviously, Patrick Alvin did. Why? And Pettersson's agent. PD should be playing all games. I think he has so far, hasn't he? I wish they told us about which hotel the visiting team stays in. Then we could have gone and locked them in the room. I think that's the exact reason why they don't tell people. Suter and Blueger's IQ are the recipe for the success. No glory, but absolutely no mistakes. Yeah, they've been awesome staples of our bottom 6 for sure. Oh, during practice, one of the Sedins was talking to PD. Thank you. That's what Adam was talking about. Could be anything. Confidence, mindset. It could even be mechanics. Who knows? Sedin asked him, you have a brother, right? Sedin asked him. Yes, I do think she does go to AHL. E-Bug after the backup star get hurt. Thank you, fangirl. Hockey Night in Canada showed a clip of Sedin talking to PD. Thank you. E-Bugs at every game. I hope Rick Tocchet finalizes on and builds chemistry with, DeBrusk, Miller, Besser, Joshua, Pettersson, Garland, Heinen, Blueger, Sherwood. Huh? Who's DS? Oh, Sprong. Excuse me. Oh, I think you must mean Kiefer Sherwood there, and then Hoglander, Suter, Sprong. Then Baines and Ratu swap up and down. Yeah, that's fine. Although we can only carry 3 extra players, and we have 2 extra defensemen. So I get it. If we want to keep, or you're saying swap up and down from Abbotsford, that makes sense then, Victor. No, I like your lines a lot. I think he plays Thursday, but they haven't ruled him out for tomorrow. Historically, October's a low scoring month. Yeah, it was funny. I love his self-deprecating humor. He basically saying he usually doesn't score in October, right? He doesn't score until November. Would you agree that the power play is struggling because Hughes is only 2 points in the power play? He's a quarterback. I feel like he needs to take his play to another level. Yeah, I think sometimes Hughes tries to do a little bit too much too. I'd love to get him quicker passing for sure. But it's not just Hughes. They can't even get set up sometimes. Unpaved, I'm surprised that they're not doing this either. Isn't that why they brought him in? Yeah, very surprised. Canucks E-Bug is a UBC coach player. Yeah, that sounds about right. Pepsi helps Clay stay awake. Some Richmond drivers are indeed bad. After a 30-minute nap, I feel fine. It doesn't make me more tired. I feel like if I can get anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes, that's enough for me just to get through the rest of the night. Not get through. It's not like I'm gonna pass out as soon as I click click the end stream button. I hope we win the cup. Clay said he will give me the black skate Hughes jersey. If we win the cup, I'll give you more than the black skate jersey, Jaskrin. Carve sandwich, James, is my go-to meal for sure. Am I worried about rushing Demko back? No, I'm not, Edmund. I actually think the Canucks have been taking time and will take their time because of how well Lankinen is playing. McDavid trying to rehab to be able to play the Hockey Night in Canada game. I heard about that he wants to play. My other buddy I'm going to is Flames fan, so I hope to get. Oh yes, on the 12th. Good. How do you get rid of annoying flu? Just a sore throat and minor runny nose. When I get sick, this isn't Ask Me Anything time yet, but RJ, I care about you. I rarely get sick. Now I said that, I'm probably gonna get sick tomorrow. I think some of it's mental. I don't let myself get sick. Maybe that's flawed thinking, but I just take two things when I'm sick. I take Neocitrin day and night, and I take Tylenol. I don't know if that works. Maybe that's just more for a headache or just mental, but I definitely swear by Neocitrin. Deep pairings, Quinn and Hronik, then a rut, Susie and Myers. Yeah. We got a Buckley's vote. Hope you feel better, RJ. My friend works at the hotel the Canucks are staying at for tomorrow. Nice. But LA Women's Hoops doesn't look like going to divulge which hotel that is. We've been talking about this already. SMW, I'm predicting Thursday as opposed to tomorrow night. Over under 1.5 fights for Garland. Let's go over. Is Pettersson the highest paid Canuck in franchise history? Yes. Yes. By far. Who knows? Dice Idol steps it up when Jesus is out of it. Who's Dice Idol? Is there any more room on that Canucks team for Tom Marchand? We could definitely use Tom Marchand, says Tom Marchand's cousin. That was so funny back in the day. Should Sheila only be called up during playoffs since he loves the pressure more? No, I think that was just only because we didn't have a Lankinen or Demko. You don't bring them up just for the playoffs. Puckpedia has the Canucks with an estimated deadline cap space of 5.15. That is great rental money. Does PD need a small market team so he can reach his full potential? Nope. He just needs to play better regardless of the noise. Am I surprised Sheelos is being this much of a letdown? A little bit. I wasn't singing his praises like the goalie of the future, but I thought he had a great playoff. Yeah. Thank goodness for Lankinen, indeed. Dice Nice usually in February, March time, Fangirl. Oh, neat. On SDPN, Steve, Jesse, and Adam interviewed Matt Sundin, and Sundin spoke highly of how good Pettersson is. He is. We've seen it. We just want to see it more. Both of those, Boston Gardens, Maple Leaf Garden, Montreal Forum, those three I would love to all see for sure. Marcus Pettersson, left shot 4.4 million. Rasmus Anderson, right shot 4.5. But we have to give up so much. Indeed. You have to give up quality to get quality. Canucks are usually the best team in March, especially when they're not winning. Yeah, sometimes it's too late. Canucks need to stick with lines longer. I agree. I've been saying this as well, Michael. I agree with you completely. Jaskrin, to be determined. The Canucks need to do a skills competition. Yeah, I think those are less and less popular now. Daylight savings needs to end one day soon. You're not a fan? Would you do limited edition CCC merch? Sure. Why not? Garland is a beast. Canucks are staying at the Grand California Disneyland. First Canuck get a hat trick. I'm going to say DeBrusque. Well, it could be Suter. It could be Miller. It could be Connor. I'm going to say Petey. That's my hot take. It's going to be Petey. Garland plays bigger than Myers. Every time Myers plays big, it's a suspension. Anyone else sometimes think they haven't been sick in a while, and then 2 days later, I'm sick? Well, I hope not. I hope you don't get sick, evil twin. Oh, Draisaitl. Yeah, he's good. Thanks, Adam. How much does Sheelos make? He makes under $1 million. He makes $850,000. Light schedule. Yes, they have to. It's been important. It's been huge that they've only played 10 games so far, Des Money. So but not only from a Demko rest standpoint, but from racking up the points. Alberta would be fun for a road trip. Canucks first round opponent. Yeah, yeah, the way it's going, I don't know. Vegas could, let's say Edmonton doesn't ever, how can you count Edmonton out though? Yeah, right now, I did say the Canucks won't win the division. I said Edmonton. So I think it's a Vegas or LA in a 2-3 matchup for sure. Yeah, a minor trade for sure. Ronnie from the Flyers. Besser gets the first Hattie. That makes sense. No, I just had a hot take. Would Dan Riccio make a great associate coach? I don't know. I don't know anything about his coaching. I enjoy listening to him, but I don't know how good of a coach he'd be. Am I surprised that Hronek's being quiet? No, this is what I understand him to be. I think the Jets, anytime you have Connor Hollaback, the Jets are for real. Yep, I've been in a game in the Saddle Dome. Usually sit up top. I've been there twice. And then when the flames go off, it's so warm. It feels like it's going to burn my eyebrows off. All right. That's good. I'm going to be ruthless about this just to honor it. So that was good. That was 20 minutes of hockey questions. Now I'm going to do 5 to 7 minutes of non-Canucks, non-hockey questions. So no more Canucks, no more hockey-related questions. Personal. It doesn't have to be that personal. It doesn't have to be that prying. Whatever. You guys know I'm usually an open book. But my one rule is no Canucks questions, no hockey-related questions for the next 5 to 7 minutes. Let's go. Favorite Halloween costume your kids have done in the past? My kids. Oh, that, I think when they were little, we used to dress them up. Oh, there was one where Sean went as Kobe Bryant, I think. And then Jacob's being a bunch of goofy things. Kayla, we would dress up like as Angel or Bumblebee or whatever. So there's none that really, really stick out. Oh, actually, one of them, Sean went as a waiter one year. I thought that was kind of cute. But honestly, Fangirl, nothing that that really sticks out. We don't do up Halloween maybe as much as other families did. We would just buy a costume and stick it on them. Although actually, I will say it wasn't Halloween. But do you guys remember for one Halloween, I dressed up as a pirate because that year we had just come off a cruise, or a couple years before that. So when the kids all dressed up as pirates, that was pretty cool too. But that wasn't for Halloween. Where do I purchase Pepsi? Well, when I'm trying to be smart and save money, I'll go to Costco to buy cans, and then I'll just buy bottles at Freshco. It's crazy how you can usually get a 2-liter for under $2, but then if you buy the little 650 ml bottle or whatever, that can be like run you $250 or $3. So I definitely try not to buy those. I either buy cans in bulk or I buy bottles at Freshco. I won't like the videos anymore if we play LA in the first round. I don't get what that means. You won't like my videos? Clay, since you're an avid bowler, after a big shot, have you ever burst out, who do you think you are? I am. Yes. Pete Weber, the classic. No, usually when I hit a big shot, I'm surprised I hit the shot. I'm like, what the heck? Was that me? Was that me? Was that me? No. Do you see that? No. My cousin Jordan, he will often do a crotch chop. My other cousin Jamie will pretend he's got a belt. He goes, Steve, right? When I hit a shot that I know is good, I'll kind of strut back. But I've once in a couple times I've done a dance on the lane, but really I have not pulled out the big Pete Weber yet. Great question, Dasmoney. I love that. Go to barber. I need to soon. No, I cut my own hair. I do it every 2 or 3 weeks. I do everything, and then my wife Gail helps me even do the very back. Saves about $500 a year. Favorite work by Quincy? Yes, rest in peace, Quincy Jones. There was. Anytime he worked with my favorite gospel group, Take 6, and there's an album called Quincy's Accused Juke Joint that I really liked. I don't know if you remember that film or Wax. I really like that. Of course, We Are the World, a big fan of that song as well. If you put 2 cans of Pepsi in one big glass and drink it all, would that count as one Pepsi? Man, Coach Rob, I pile up all my Pepsis for one day and I count it as one Pepsi. You ever get mad enough to drag race a bad driver? No, not worth it. Doesn't make sense. I am an aggressive. I think I'm a good driver. I am quite aggressive, for sure. Not dangerous, but I'm an aggressive driver. Certainly not passive, not even passive aggressive, just aggressive. So, but I never drag race. For Vietnamese restaurant, my favorite Burnaby. Okay, I like Tyson in Richmond. No show tonight. That's why, Austin. That's why it's been deleted, because we don't have a show tonight. We're doing it on Wednesday instead. Yeah, favorite in Richmond is Tyson, Victor. Oh, great question. Besides Pepsi, to have a second favorite drink, it's Coke. If you're talking about a non-cola, I really enjoy lemonade, and I like Shirley Temples. You guys know I used to drink Shirley Temples on the stream all the time. And my daughter was held her, took my breath away. What was your instant reaction becoming dad? There was definitely pride for sure. Like, I did that. That sounds gross, but you know what I mean. That's I'm a part of this child. There was certainly concern for Gail, right? Because she's the one doing all the hard work. But and just a feeling of love that I've never had before, even different than when Gail and I got married or engaged, or when I first asked her out or whatever. Just a mixture of pride and love. Great question, Irvin. How many cans did you drink in one day, Clay? The most I've ever drank. Probably 8. I don't know what I was doing, but it's probably 8. Yeah, I don't know there'll be times where when I'm out at a buffet where I could easily put 3 or 4 drinks down. And then if I have another 2 or 3, it's not healthy for sure. Yet it sounds like I'm showing off, but I'm being honest. I'm still losing weight, which is weird. We don't chill. We should, Alfred, but we don't. Thoughts on Crown Jewel and Sammy's? Yeah. Crown Jewel was good. Set up some shows, set up some angles. And if it means Sami Zayn with the OG bloodline at Survivor Series, I'm all for it. Nope, I don't drink Canada Dry, Ricky. Best day of the week to get meal deals. I don't care about the meal deals. I just care about going when it's not busy. I won't like your vids anymore. So you must hope we don't. Why? Because you're an LA fan, or you don't like LA? I don't get it, Jaskrin. Then you're definitely not getting my jersey. How much money would you demand if Pepsi offers you to become the CEO? If Pepsi offers me to become their CEO, yet I can drink as much Pepsi I want, I'll do it for $100,000. I have not watched The Big Lebowski. I don't know enough about Circle K, so I'll go 7-Eleven. I go to Tim Hortons more, although my friends own Lee's. Could I see a world where 5-pin bowling is phased out? Definitely in Western Canada. It's still big in Central and Eastern Canada. With the U.S. elections approaching, if you were to become Prime Minister, what are some changes you would make? Oh, gosh. I don't know. I think just a lot. I better stay away from one particular topic. What I would do, I know what I would do with one particular topic, but I'm not going to bring it up here because it'd just be crazy. I would help students. I would help young adults graduating somehow. So whether it's tax breaks or credits or whatever, I that's a pretty weak answer, I know, but I need to think about that one for sure. Favorite Halloween candy to eat? Anything sour, like Sour Patch Kids, sours. I think that's my favorite. 2 liters cheaper than cans. There's better value. They're about the same. Because you can buy a 6-pack. You can get a 6-pack for under $1 a can. So let's say you're paying $6 for. Let's say you're paying $1 a can, which is still cheap now. You can get a lot cheaper. Then that's for 2 liters. Oh yeah, a 2-liter bottle is way cheaper. No, that's awesome, Tyler. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Is that a song or a movie? No, that's Shelmont Lanes, no more. But they do have 5-pin at Splitsville, just a few lanes. I definitely don't mix Pepsi and Coke. I do not use AI at all. I should probably use it way more. I don't use it for YouTube. I probably could. I use a little bit for my studies, but only to give me ideas. No, I could probably use it more. Jarhead. Nice to see you, by the way. Do you brush more than you floss? Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad you talked to your dad. Outside of Vancouver, BC, where else did you find good sushi? I've had good sushi in the Philippines. I've had good sushi in Japan, obviously, goes without saying. I've had good sushi in LA. There's been a lot of places where I haven't had good sushi too. Don't watch either show. To add to bowling thoughts, I hope that once all the redevelopment is all said and well done, Willowbrook Drive, I wish to be reincarnated Willow Lanes. Very good, RJ. Good callback. The poll is still on. Oh, thanks for the reminder. I think Kiefer Sherwood wins it. Yeah, she just says stop drinking it, Irvin, because she wants me to be healthier, and I can't blame her. By the way, Sherwood wins the poll, 47%, Branson 23%, Garland 17%, Suter 11%. They're trying to get him to join. He will. Pepsi and Coke, same price. Oh, Jaskin hates LA. When is Costco not busy? At like 7 or 7:30, right before they close. I have watched To Kill a Mockingbird. I really enjoy it. Who could play you in a movie? I don't know. Got to be good looking. Doesn't have to be Asian. Denzel can play me, even though we have nothing in common. More realistically, I don't know. Keanu Reeves. That guy from Simu. I don't know what his last name is. Is it Simu Liu or Simu Lee? Besides your favorite movie being Shawshank Redemption, what would be a second or third movie? I've watched Shawshank maybe about 6 times, so it's not like 12 or 20. Sadly, I don't know if they're my favorite movie, but I definitely Coming to America and Naked Gun. I know those movies off by heart. Sad to say. What other movies would I say is my favorite? Yeah, I haven't really thought about a second favorite movie behind Shawshank. I do like Remembering the Titans for sure. That was a good one. I did watch TNA wrestling. Topics to avoid to lessen anger from your viewers: sex, politics, and religion. Learn that in school, and I believe it. Yeah, no, it's true. Religion, I'm not afraid to say that I'm practicing Roman Catholic and that I work for the church, but I don't really get into church teachings here. I just hope to live my life as a good witness. Politics, yeah, you can never go right. And sex, I don't know if you mean gender issues or if you mean actual sex. Either or, I'm not going to talk about those. All right, just going through the last couple questions. Would I be yeah? If there were no Canucks, naturally Kraken could be an option. If you were to visit another NHL arena, one that I would love to watch a game in Madison Square. I would love to watch a game in Montreal, Toronto. Those are 3 that I haven't yet. Ken Jeong. Denzel and Keanu were brothers in Much Ado. I did not know that. How did Sean and Jake get their bowling nicknames? It's easy. It's just their first initial last name. It's Simu and Jimu. I would love it to be Simo and Jimo, but because of the way we probably pronounce our last name, but I guess it looks and sounds better, Simu and Jimu. All right, another vote for Ken Jeong. AI version of Training Day. Put it in, Irvin. Make it happen. Stockings. When I was a kid, I would look for like video games or candy or Pez dispensers. Not really a fan of Zack Sabre Jr. Is he a wrestler or an actor? I don't even know who that is. 0.625 cents per can. That makes sense. That makes more sense. I'm not doing any Canucks questions, but just for you, yes, I think the Canucks will win tomorrow. Okay. I think that was good. That was another 12-minute. Wow. We went for 32 minutes of questions, 22 or so on Canucks questions, another 10 on Ask Me Anything. And that went, good night, Rome. That went by really, really quickly. Glad you could join me on a night where we did not do Canucks After Dark. So don't forget, tomorrow night, I have my show at 11. I'll be coming back from bowling, watching some election stuff, and we'll do a quick 40-minute show. Then I have to go to my church hour. And then Wednesday night will be Canucks After Dark. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks for your support. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. Make sure on your way out, you subscribe, like the video, and you can leave a late donation. Thanks to my sponsors, Van State Experts Real Estate and Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. And thanks to everyone who went above and beyond today with their generosity. Skytrain Alfin with the $7 donation, Coach Rob with the membership gift, $5 donation, and Jeevan with the $3 donation. I appreciate all you guys for your generosity tonight. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget that you can also purchase some Canuck Clay merch if you care to do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. All right, friends, don't forget to rate the bad joke on the way out. Enjoy watching and finding out the election results tomorrow. Not sure if any of you, well, I'm sure you care or you're interested, and we'll just kind of see what happens. I'm not going to ask you who you want to win. You guys can talk about that amongst yourselves. But as always, thank you for being here. Very grateful to all of you. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Why are giraffes so slow to apologize? Yes, why are giraffes so slow to apologize? Because it takes them a very long time to swallow their pride. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.